Hi everyone, it's Melissa Isla from AcuTap 101, and I wanted to do a demonstration on tapping for you today, and hopefully that as you watch me tap on things that have been triggering this week, it can help you. So tapping is where we tap on different acupuncture points, and it helps with emotional regulation. So if we're feeling fear, panic, and overwhelm, and we tap on specific events, it can really help to bring the charge down from something really high to something lower. So let's try it. We always start on the side of the hand with a setup statement. So I'm going to start with what works for me, and you can tap along with me, or you can add in your own words, whatever feels good. So even though I got caught up in a wave of panic this week, and I felt it in my throat like a constriction, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. And that feeling right now is maybe like a 7 out of 10. So even though I felt caught up in a wave of panic this week and I felt it in my throat like a constriction, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I felt a wave of panic this week and it felt like it was in my throat like a constriction, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. A wave of panic, my throat like a constriction. You can do 2 hands or 1 hands. This wave of panic, feeling in my throat like a constriction. This panic, feeling it in my throat. Panic. Throat is constricted. So sometimes you'll have yawns or sighs or off-gassing in some way, and that helps to move the energy through. So I feel like, that released a little bit. Maybe it's down to like a 4 out of 10. It's really good if you get specific. So even though when I went to Vaughn's and I saw way more people in the store than I'd ever seen before, I'm just gonna tap and talk for a second, and all the carts were gone. There was no more spots in the parking lot, and I knew if I waited online it would take forever. So I just grabbed a couple things and went to the Express. And in that moment I felt some fear. So as I talk about it, I've sensed the fears coming up. It's like triggering me, makes me want to cry. So it's good. When you talk about things, you kind of like seize the moment. Okay, what was that moment? So even though when I was at Vaughn's and I felt fear and it makes me want to cry, and it's like an 8 out of 10, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though when I was at Vaughn's, I felt some fear, I feel it like I want to cry. I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though when I was at Vaughn's, I felt fear, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This feeling of fear. And I'm just going to remember that feeling when I was at Vaughn's. Makes me want to cry. This feeling of fear. It makes me want to cry. This feeling of fear. It makes me want to cry. This feeling of fear makes me want to cry. Good. Well, I definitely, could see in my face that I was going to start crying, and I could have, would have, should have if I felt like I needed to, but as I tapped through it, I just felt it lessening. I had the big yawn. I'm a big yawner when I do tapping. It's not the most attractive looking thing, but it's really, really helpful. So maybe I'll just keep going. So sometimes it helps to talk and tap on all the spots until you get the memory of the thing that's really triggering. So feeling some panic about the kids and their school. I can already feel some emotion coming up around that. trying to think of like the one moment where I felt the most panic around that, and I don't know, maybe it was getting the email finally that school was closed starting on Monday, and the dread setting in of 3 weeks with the kids at home. So even though when I saw the email that the kids were going to be home from school for 3 weeks, I felt dread, and I feel it like in my body. I feel it in my body like claustrophobia. I don't really know how to describe. I feel hot. Like I feel like I need to take my sweater off. So even though the thought of the kids being home for 3 weeks makes me feel claustrophobic and I get really hot, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though the thought of the kids staying home for 3 weeks makes me feel claustrophobic and I feel really hot, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though the thought of the kids staying home for 3 weeks makes me feel claustrophobic and I feel really hot, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Feeling claustrophobic, feeling really hot, claustrophobic, feeling really hot, claustrophobic, feeling really hot, claustrophobic. So, to be honest, I need to go into the finger point. So this is another technique that we do. So you tap on the inside of the thumbnail, switch to the next finger, claustrophobic, feeling emotion coming up. We move to the hand on the front, right between these two bones, the gamut point, feeling really hot. So now what I want to do is close my eyes, open my eyes, look hard down towards one side, back to center, hard down towards the other side, back to center, eyes look straight up. Roll your eyes in a circle in one direction, taking your time, hitting all the spots like on a clock, and then rolling the eyes around in another direction, in the other direction. And just thinking about whatever the issue is that's come up. Humming a couple bars of a tune. And then saying numbers backwards, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then humming again. Feeling claustrophobic. Kids being home for 3 weeks. Feeling hot in my body. Feeling claustrophobic. Kids being home for 3 weeks. And then I'm just going to picture that email. I'm feeling the feelings that I felt when I opened that email. Reading the email. Kids being home for 3 weeks. Feeling claustrophobic. The email. Email. I'm feeling hot in my body. And then finishing on the side of the hand. Good. So, I mean, that was kind of like a 10 out of 10. I don't know if I rated it before I started, but it definitely dropped. I think it's like a 3 out of 10 now. The heat in my body definitely went away. The claustrophobia feels better. And I feel like, you know, I'm still continuing to process through that. The emotion feels less. So, you know, here are some of my examples of things that happened to me during the week. So, you know, following along with me is really helpful. You can always play it again and repeat what I say, or fill in your own stories or your own events that happened this week and do it on your own after you watch the video. So you can find the points on my website. Feel free to ask questions. You know, going into the eye rolling and the gamut points is a little bit more advanced. You know, but if you find that the emotion's not really dropping, doing the tapping on the 9 points, then you might need to go into the gamut point. But if it feels really strong and really intense, then you need somebody to guide you through it. So I do Zoom sessions. I'm happy to, you know, work around your schedule, around my schedule with the kids being home. You just need a private space and your hands free. And it's always good to have a glass of water nearby. So thanks for watching. It's always vulnerable to do videos like this, especially, you know, as emotion comes up. But yeah, and as I feel emotion now, I'll probably tap after the video. But it's good to keep processing through things as they come up, and you know, allow yourself to be free from this tunnel of fear and panic. And the emotion that's coming up for me now, you know, if I had to sit with it, is probably more of just the fact of being seen and allowing myself to do this and put it out there. That's more triggering than the panic or the fear, that kind of stuff right now. So, you know, the goal is to drop the panic and the fear so that you could be more present in your body, be more present with your gifts and your talents, because the world needs you. So stay tuned for next time. Please feel free to comment. Okay, lots of love.